Hi and welcome. So when I started with live video, it was a little bit more than 2 years ago. I thought, wow, this is so great. You can put in a real DSLR camera as a webcam. And it looks just so different. It looks great. And when I tried to get into how to make this all work, I saw that there is one platform. It's called Ecamm Live, and it makes it all possible. So you can look like you are on CNN. And the only thing that I thought was, it can feel a little bit daunting, feel a little bit complicated to do this all by yourself. And there was one man who helped me solve this. And his name is Adrian Salisbury. He is the official leader of the Ecamm Live Academy. And I'm welcoming you really. Hey, Adrian, how are you today?
Hey, good to be here. Sound like some hero that kind of came in there and saved the
Yeah.
day for you.
Yeah. So, and you made a difference for me, really, Adrian,
Yeah,
and you made a
it was a
difference
pleasure working with you.
for
Yeah,
so many thousands of others. Now, even the 1,500 people have been going through your courses. It's not only the Ecamm Academy, but it's also the courses for pro video, how you do fantastic YouTube videos. Amazing.
yeah. Well, that 1,500 is purely for the Ecamm Academy.
Ah,
That's
wow.
just people who use Ecamm. Yeah.
Mhm.
But folk like yourself, actually, that I mean, you knew the presenting side of it, didn't you? You used to do you used to be on TV and things, but actually, this we all shifted a few years back and had to come online and start working with this. And so, yeah, it's been a real pleasure actually to be able to give you that platform and allow you to use this tool
Yeah.
to really carry on shining like you were before.
Oh, thank you. And it's, of course, look at this. This was us 1 year and 1 month exactly ago. And let me just tell people what happened after our interview, because it was like the first interview that I was doing live. And I thought, okay, let's do it with somebody who is basically like a driving teacher. And Adrian was so kind to do an interview, and we were already a little bit promoting the Ecamm Live Academy then, because it always starts at around February. And it was such a phenomenal success that people came to me and asked me, hey, Daniel, would you like to give a course at a university for content marketing? And it was totally unexpected, Adrian. And
Fantastic.
I also attribute this to you, like to your,
Yeah.
of course, magnets. You are a live magnet as well, but also people liked what they saw, and they were getting the message, and they were
Yeah.
certainly interested in that. And this is what Ecamm Live and what live video is all about, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the platform, the tool here of Ecamm, just what you've created here, I don't know of another tool that would allow you to do that. And so people are used to just seeing guests sitting side by side with no frills, no framing or colors and things like this. And it does really help you stand out for sure. And it's really encouraging to hear that people are looking and going, wow, there's something different about that video and that content. Let's get him to come and do some training for us. Yeah.
Wow. And let's just jump into the topic of live streaming.
Mm.
Why should actually people do live streaming? That might be a fringe topic. So it's like, okay, I have
Yeah.
been on TV, so I liked it, I saw the opportunity, but is that the only thing? Like some rare people, where do you see the real benefits?
Yeah, I think maybe historically people see live streaming and think it's just a very chatty thing that be very raw. When it first came out, it was all sort of done from your phone, wasn't it? It was all very raw and behind the scenes. And hey, I'm just in the airport. If you want to jump on and that kind of stuff. But it is definitely stepped up and become a more professional tool that people are presenting and doing shows. And yeah, whereas folk would look forward to the opportunity of getting on stage at an event. We're now able to create that virtually, and it's super easy for our audience to jump on from wherever they want. Come and join us. You can bring guests in virtually, as we're doing right now. Have speakers. You can run a whole event like this, live streaming is definitely sort of turned into a big platform, really. And I think that virtual stage that you can do, the main benefit, I mean, we still make a ton of YouTube videos, and I still feel that there is absolutely a big place for those videos. And if you or I wanted to go to the internet to search out help on a topic, I would much rather than wait for this live to show up, I would rather just jump in, watch that video, and away I go. So it's not replacing that, but it's very one-sided when you're doing a YouTube video. And I think what is really special about the live element is that we can interact with an audience, and we can schedule out in advance a show that we've got, or a special, like people would do a webinar, really. And bring people in, and you just get to chat and interact. And it's, I don't know about you, but when I've sat the other side of it and I've jumped in and watched somebody's live and they call me out, maybe I jump on one of your lives, Daniel, and you go, "Oh, Adrian's here. He's,
Yeah.
great on Ecam." Makes me feel really good. And you think, well, if you can do that with your audience when they show up, it'll encourage them to keep coming back. And we know that sort of algorithms like to see that the content is being shared, that there are comments coming on and things like that.
Like this from Oliver. Hello, Oliver.
Yeah, good timing.
You're recognized. Greetings to Berlin.
Good to see you, Oliver. The algorithms will love this, and it will say, "Oh, there's somebody that's just commented in." And if I get to the end of one of my YouTube videos, I'm looking for those comments for YouTube to then be saying, "Oh, this is good content. We'll push this out further." But if I've done a live and maybe I've had 50 comments on there from people, then YouTube or LinkedIn or other platforms are going, "This is great. Let's push this out because it's something that has interaction." So it ticks a lot of boxes for sure.
Yeah, and it's a touch point, right? It's Oliver, we have never met before, so thanks for joining us. So maybe you are interested in Ecam, and this is really what you need, like for your next step of reaching out for your clients, for your mission, whatever it is. And Adrian, Ecamm Live. So there are so many software solutions and platforms out. So what is it? What is Ecamm Live? What makes Ecamm Live so special?
I think probably what I should do is, I was going to say, I could show you actually.
Sure.
There are other platforms for sure, and a lot of people would know of Restream, which is actually a tool that we're using to do the multi-streaming still on Ecam. StreamYard, BeLive. There are other platforms that are out there that do the basics really, and they're fantastic tools for what they do. I would never knock them, but they're limited in the way we can work with them. And probably what I should have done.
If I may just jump in, because I also did a comparison, because people were really asking me, and I think especially in the German community, there are tools like cloud-based tools or like StreamYard available and Restream. And of course, they are all nice. They are also offering a lot, and they are in a way also super comfortable to use, because at the end, so you're logging in and it's basically a lot of it's already set. But I would say there's a big but with that, that you can maybe also do a lot of things that you would like to do later on, you just cannot do. And the quality is another thing. Yeah, so I think this is why Ecam is in a way such a, you told me in the last interview, said it's quite in the middle. So it means it offers a lot. It's on the one hand user-friendly, it has the same price, but you can do so much more, right?
Yeah. If I just show you,
please.
I can.
The magician. I put you on full screen.
I'll demo my screen a minute just so you can see. If I realize I'll loop a bit down the bottom there, but this part over here is Ecam. And so I, for instance, can create a new scene over here. And I'm just wanting to show you, actually, I've pulled up StreamYard because we're using Restream. I think it might get a bit loopy doing something there. So I'm just going to show you this as an example, StreamYard. So what I can create on here is we talk about scenes in Ecamm, and they're a bit like slides that you would put in presentation. So I'm going to create a new one over here, and just very quickly, I'm going to start off with this blank scene, and I'm going to say I want to do a screen share, and I can choose what I want to share. So let me just pick this screen over here, and I'm going to go custom on this shape. We're going to do a bit of magic here and just sort of show you how this all comes together. And then I pull this over to say, maybe I want to keep myself. In fact, a customer just reached out to me today and said, I'm interested in this, but I need to know that I can stay on camera when I'm doing it's going to show me as well. So if I would demonstrate in my screen like this, I could pop it over here, and then I can bring a camera on, and this will be my camera feed. And then let's go custom again like this. So I'm just playing with this. So I've now all of a sudden created this scene. If I come out of this live demo, you can see now that I've created here an overlay that this is completely customized as to where I sit, as to the screen that's shared, and I can crop out things like this. If I don't want to see parts of it, I can crop these out. Now, so let me just demonstrate. This is, and I say I've got to spell this out. StreamYard is a fantastic tool. I'm just literally demonstrating here the differences of a platform like this and what I can do with Ecamm.
Yeah.
So when, as you can see on here on my control panel, if I were just, I log into StreamYard, I choose my camera and my microphone, and I can then show up like this, just myself, or I've got some preset buttons down here that if I want to bring a guest on, or if I want to do a guest but have a bit of spacing around me, 3 guests, me with sharing my screen, you'll notice that it's very fixed, and it's sense it's kind of made it foolproof. So rather than people getting stuck and not sure where, for some, StreamYard would be a better option, because maybe they'd come to Ecamm and be going, "Oh, hang on a minute, this has moved around, and I'm not good at this." And actually, what StreamYard obviously taken the line of going, "We're going to preset it, we'll put it in a place," and so I can comments and things can come up on screen like this, but it's all very fixed. And yes, I can change colors around, but
that's it.
One of the huge things I would say really with Ecamm is just the ability for me to customize things, do exactly what Daniel you've done there, and create nice little overlays and frames. I can't do that on these other platforms. I'm sort of stuck in their presets. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And look what I did while you were presenting. I tried of customized as a circle or a square to match your look and feel. And this is why I think it's such a fantastic tool, because it's so flexible. And also the way to use a virtual camera, we will maybe also go to this feature later on when we will talk a little bit about Zoom. But this virtual camera is such an asset if you can use it, because you are able to appear in so many platforms super high professionally. Yeah.
Daniel, I don't know whether you've played with this feature of writing on screen as well.
Oh, yes. Love it.
This is something as well that is the kind of thing, and on Zoom calls in particular, we've had, I had people suddenly reaching out to me because they were in somebody's membership group, and he was showing up, and he's on screen, he's writing like this. And kind of putting messages up, and everyone's, he's doing his charts and things, and explaining how, these I don't know, different methods and stuff like this, and everyone's going, "Wow, how are you doing that? We've never seen anything like that." And these are the sort of cool things that you can do here in Ecamm that I don't think you could really do with anything else. I mean, this is advanced stuff. This is literally sort of some of the last lessons that we're teaching, but they are there and they are options.
That's
But yeah,
true. And Oliver is just writing 80% of his Ecamm skills are from Adrian's videos. So you are also a global influencer with more than 110,000 followers, subscribers on YouTube. And this is also how you are known as the expert in Ecamm and pro video.
that's excellent.
But Oliver, thank you very much. And I also see you're pairing this live stream. So this is amazing. So you have the possibility. So we have also the possibility to stream through various networks now, through the networks, to the followers of others, to Oliver's. Thank you so much for being here. And let's just go a little bit. Now we have talked about the difference of Ecamm, that you're just able to customize your look and feel to the way you would like to appear. And what I have often seen is that it's a nice thing to have the cloud-based possibilities, but the speed and the possibilities to add additional cameras is just so different. So differently with Ecamm. And so this is something that is just giving you more options at the end. And
that's very true. Actually, you can only bring one camera into these other platforms. You're right. I could have. We've done events recently with this. We had 4 cameras feeding in, and you can cut between different angles. You know, the iPad that I just used there to do the writing on screen is considered another camera input.
Wow.
I often hook my phone up even, and it allows me just to sort of move around and and I think you can be prepared with it. It forces you to prepare, doesn't it, Daniel? That you got to think, right, what's you've done exactly that, and you've got scenes ready in advance, because it sort of makes you go, right, well, what am I going to want to do? Okay, I'll start, and then I'll bring a guest on, and then I want to go to them, and then I want to bring something else up. And I love that you can plan it out like that. And I don't know if yourself using a Stream Deck, but we can allocate all these things to buttons. And I think even with any of these other platforms or Zoom or anything else, you want to share your screen, and all of a sudden you go, right, so I'm clicking a button to share my screen. Now I want Chrome and I want that tab, and it's not slick. Whereas we can do that in advance, and I can press a button, and now it just goes straight over to that scene that I've done.
Yes, I always see that people are really popping in. So I think we got the magic algorithm, pushed the video out. Finally, no, thank you, Anita, for being here. That's so wonderful. And please feel free to ask your questions to Adrian. We will also have a possibility. It all depends on Adrian's schedule. So now we have 20 minutes already. So Adrian, how long is your schedule for today? When's your next interview in line?
If we, really sort of maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's great,
that's
of
all
course.
Right. And
it's such a privilege.
Gerald's in, fantastic.
Gerald, hey, great. Pleased to meet you, Gerald. And so let's go to the important question. What is the Ecamm Academy, Ecamm Live Academy, all about? And so it's starting in exactly 1 week from today. So Adrian, what can people expect from the Ecamm Live Academy?
Yeah, thank you. Well, we came to this originally, and I mean, I love Ecam. It's a fantastic tool, and I can remember a few years back now talking to people, probably 3 years ago now. I'd be talking to people in my Pro Video Academy, and I'm saying, "Have you heard of this tool called Ecam?" And people would go, "Yeah," because originally you just bought it as a one-off license. People would go, "Yeah, I think I downloaded that. I don't," and they kind of hunt around, and it felt so wrong that it's such a powerful tool that people were just shelving it and weren't getting the most out of it, that I initially went, right, I'm going to create some YouTube videos. And then we reached out to Ecam, and between us, we came up with this idea of creating an academy. And I absolutely love it for people that come in, some that have maybe never heard of Ecam, but they're live streaming or they're wanting to record podcasts and things, and it's a great tool for this. And others that have had it for years and just never used it. I get excited. So we put this training together really into when we looked at how much content we could potentially cover for people, we said this works really well initially as a 1-week training. So the idea is we built this academy out and we run it live rather than just access anytime you like to come in and join it, because one of the biggest parts of it is the community that I'll come to in a minute. But the way we run this then is that you and Daniel, you come into the academy at whatever level you are, and we literally start on. So a week today, we will be giving the first batch of videos out, and they will be talking about the kind of the fundamentals of Ecam and how to get that going. And then I show up at a live at 5 p.m. in the UK. Just to answer and to steer people on, really, to go and watch those videos, do the work. This is all happening inside a lovely little Facebook group. So everyone's on the same page. And then Tuesday, the next batch of videos get sent out. And then we're actually challenging you to go live that day. Wednesday, we're stepping up to interviewing, and we challenge you to find somebody and interview them. And then we just keep going up for those 5 days with about 60 videos in total that you not only get access to then, but you have lifetime access to this content. And that is so valuable as Ecam is coming up with new versions and updating their software and adding new features in. Anyone who is an Ecam customer, Ecam Academy customer of ours, will get all of those updates free for life. So you get really a hybrid. You get the online training that you can work through at your own time. We're not telling you what time of day you need to do it. I just show up for 1 hour every day to steer you on and hopefully answer questions and demo a few features and things. And then the second week is there with no new content really being thrown in. The second week is very much about you going off and practicing and playing what you've been learning. And it just works really well. Originally we weren't expecting this to stay as a live event. We thought this would be an online course, but the feedback from that first time overwhelmingly was, we love this community. We love the fact that, we're all together on this, and I've got a group of friends who are all learning the same things. So that's why we've kept it as this live event, but it will only pop up twice this year. So we're doing it now in March, and then it will come up again in October. What can I say? We've also added in there, as you can see on that list there, where am I? Just about there. Not bad. Masterclasses. We've invited a few friends to come in and do some masterclasses as well. So Ian, we've got Anna and Fulgens coming in doing some design work. They're going to be coming in showing us how we can do some nice branding things. Ian's coming in and talking about repurposing. And I know you've mentioned already about a podcast. How do you take this live content, turn it into podcasts, YouTube videos, social media clips, all of these things. So Ian's going to be talking about that. And then Betsy's going to be coming in and talking specifically around Zoom. And something that she's been playing with recently is this virtual escape rooms inside of Zoom. So some cool stuff coming. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun in there for this 2 weeks.
What is a virtual escape room about? What is this?
I don't know. You're going to find out.
Okay, because I have to tell you a secret, Adrian. I subscribed to again.
Have you really?
Yes. Yes, I think it was such an appealing offer. First, I think this is unbeatable, guys out there. It's a complete training on Ecam, whether you are just starting or I have read, I think Maggie, he is saying that Maggie, he is telling that he has started already 6 months or so, but he is doing it again because he wants to learn more. And look, I did it even 1.5 years ago, the course, and I think there is always something to learn. And what I really appreciate about you, Adrian, is that you're really getting out the possibilities, like writing with the iPad, there are people out there in the community who say from the start, oh, you should never use a teleprompter. Teleprompter is bad. You just showed how you can use a teleprompter with to maintain eye contact. It's just as simple. You don't have to read from the teleprompter necessarily, because you don't have to be perfect when you go live. But on the other hand, I thought this is, Adrian is the resource out there, and I think it's an amazing class, and therefore I am with full-hearted like help like promote this with you right now, and I think it's also a great opportunity. So I am here in Central Europe, in Switzerland, to meet so many people from all around the world. I met
Yeah.
Brian from Florida, who is also an energetic guy. Sometimes we teamed up. He's doing another thing, but you get the ideas what people are doing.
Yeah.
And if you like to know what this course is about, just scan in the QR code here. You go right through Adrian's page. It's an affiliate link. So let's see how this works. It's my first time I'm doing this. And I also
Yeah.
created this here. It's called ELA.live-broadcasting.ROCKS. So however you go there, Adrian's the destination is the right destination. Don't feel and you have to use anything. It's just an offer. But yeah, it's an amazing course. Absolutely. And
Thank you.
yet now let's quickly go through all the different questions, or I don't even know. So there was so many praise for you coming in, if I may sum it up, because Adrian, you have to run, told me, and I would like to be kind, not to overstretch here. Hello from Boston.
Hey, Mike.
He signed up for the upcoming course again as a refresher. Absolutely. So we will see us too. And there was also a question from like how you do it with the iPad. I think this is all for the course. I think if you do, if you're signing up for the course, Adrian will take the time to explain you these special features. And like, I think this a little like this advanced possibilities that you will just get. And this, of course, then also plays into so much more, because live video, I believe it's not only going live through the social networks, but it's also doing a Zoom webinar just with the maximum capabilities, using Ecam as a virtual camera, for example, and using the iPad as you just showed, right?
Yeah, and Ecam have just come out, or it's in beta at the moment, but it will be in the next week or two, I believe, will be coming out into the full program. It is the virtual microphone as well. So that was an issue in the past, that people coming from using Ecam, the sound didn't carry across into Zoom like the image did. Well, that's now been built in as well. So we've had a lot of fun playing with this into Zoom, and yeah, people are going, how are you doing that? What are you doing? And again, it just really opens things up. I would just like to clarify, though, for anybody who's looking, thinking, this looks very advanced. We absolutely start at the basics, and you can pick and choose at what level you want to come in. And Daniel then is coming back around again. This is what we're finding, is that people are saying, okay, I came through it first time and I wasn't quite ready, or I wasn't expecting it to be that. You can come back around again as an alumni, and we let our alumni in half price to come back through more for the experience and the opportunity to practice again with the group. So yeah, don't be put off and afraid is all I don't want people thinking, well, that feels really advanced, and I'm not techie, I won't be able to keep up. You absolutely will. And even if it's just leveling up with the camera and things, and getting this going, getting multiple cameras potentially, bringing your screen on and things, it is just a much slicker way of doing it. And we've got people that are recording, they're not actually live streaming, they use it purely to record. Even if you were making some videos for YouTube or course content or a podcast, you can do all of that without actually needing to live stream. So yeah, it's an incredible tool. If you're on a Mac, you should have Ecamm. And let us explain how to get the best out of it.
Yeah, and it's all this. We are all beginners in a way, so we are all starting, and don't feel intimidated. I think one thing is also to mention, it's very easy to use if you have a Mac. So it's totally in the Mac way to handle things. A lot of possibilities. You can do very simple live videos, but you can of course also do it a little bit more advanced. So you're building up step by step. And also, not to forget, Adrian is a professional photographer, and of course he is also able to give you the best the best lens proposal or something like that. And Victoria, so you're asking about the pro license. Yeah.
Yeah, it is worth it, Victoria.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, you're getting the equivalent of $96 off of that license. So to pay $199 and get half of it straight back in that year's upgrade. Yeah.
Wow.
And as I say, I think, you know, it comes from so many sides. It surprises me that, or maybe it shouldn't do, but definitely the biggest feedback has been around the community and just this safe space that we create for people to practice and go live without fear of looking silly or doing something wrong. You know, that stuff happens, and it happens to all of us, but this is a safe place for it to happen, and it's okay if you mess things up. Come and do it in here. And, you know, from my side, I think the huge value that we couldn't really put a price on is that training that we are updating for you for life. You know, suddenly you're spotting that there's a new update that Ecam have done in the summer. You're going to get videos about it that no one else will see. So, yeah,
Wow.
huge value.
Adrian, this is so amazing. So, and now questions are popping in. So I think I have to do a. I can go on. Is it? Are you sure? Because
Yes,
I want to be a nice host. You know, I know that
you are a very nice host.
Okay. Is there a way to sign up for the replay of the Zoom workshop you recently did? I only have seen the first segment. Yeah, that's the Zoom workshop you did 1 week ago, right? Is there a replay available?
Yes. So you only watched the live bit and didn't register. If you want to reach out to me, I can send you a link to the replay actually, and you can go. And we did put all the replays on a page. Maybe we should make them available for as a link out there. But yeah, if you want to email me, Adrian at AdrianSalisbury.com. Tell me you were here on Daniel's, and yeah, we can. I'll send you a link to those replays.
Oh, and Oliver just joined your Ecam, the academy. And yeah, if you're just interested, you know, this is the interview that we were doing. I know that there are so many questions coming up, and maybe we have a chance to talk again. I would certainly look so much forward to it. This is the interview that we did last year about Ecam, and it also covers your perspective at how you became an influencer. And I think that was so amazing how you described what is possible with reaching out, making the touch points live. And so I just took the liberty to edit this live video interview that we did 1 year ago and now published it as a podcast. Don't listen to me. My English is certainly not perfect, but Adrian's is. And so therefore an absolute recommendation for you to listen in. This is here the QR code, and you will also see it later in the replay. I will put all the links in that you need.
Yeah.
And Adrian, let me just thank you from the heart. From live video to another live video magnet here. That's amazing, and I wish you really all the best for your getting the energy and now the momentum going to have all the most motivated new live video talents out there. And it's not only, again, it can also be if you're just wanting to look for your professional way to look out on Zoom. Go for the academy from Adrian. Thanks.
Adrian. Thank you very much. Lovely to be back, and I look forward to seeing you next week then, Daniel.
Yeah, looking forward. Bye-bye. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye.
Thank you, and you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.